This lecture is part 2 of chapter 1 Chemical Reaction and Equations of Science textbook NCERT of class 10. So in last lecture, that was part 1, we studied chemical equations, and in that writing a chemical equation and balanced chemical equations. In this lecture we will be studying types of chemical reactions, in which we will studying two types of reaction here: combination reaction and decomposition reaction. The first one is combination reaction. By the name itself, you will know that something is combining here. Combination reaction. So activity 1.4 is given in your textbook. In this, calcium oxide, that is also known as quicklime, is taken in a beaker and water is added to it. So after addition of water, what happens? Calcium oxide, it reacts vigorously with water to produce slaked lime, and slaked lime is calcium hydroxide, and then it releases a large amount of heat. So this is the chemical reaction. When water is added to calcium oxide, that is quicklime, it forms slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide, and a large amount of heat is released. So in this reaction you can see calcium oxide and water, they combine to form a single product, that is calcium hydroxide, and releases heat. So such a reaction in which a single product is formed from two or more reactants is known as combination reaction. And some other examples of combination reaction you can take as burning of coal, that is carbon plus oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. And formation of water, that is H2 plus O2, it gives water, H2O. So two reactants are combining to form a single product. So this is known as combination reaction. So you can write the definition of combination reaction as when two or more substances, elements or compounds combine to form a single product, the reactions are called combination reactions. So there is an interesting thing to note that in the activity where you saw slaked lime was produced, that is calcium hydroxide. That calcium hydroxide, it is used to whitewash the walls. And after whitewashing, what happens? It reacts with carbon dioxide that is present in the air, and this forms calcium carbonate layer on the wall, which is whitewashed. And this calcium carbonate, it gives shiny finish to the walls. And you should also note that the formula of marble is also calcium carbonate CaCO3. So in activity 1.4, it was observed that large amount of heat is evolved after the combination reaction, and that makes the reaction mixture warm. So exothermic reaction, exothermic chemical reaction, the reaction in which heat is released along with the formation of products. So those reactions in which heat is released with the formation of products is known as exothermic reaction. And some examples are burning of natural gas, that is methane, when it combines with oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide and water, and it releases a large amount of heat that is utilized for various activities. And respiration, which occurs inside the cells in a body, it is also an exothermic process in which glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen to give carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So this energy is used by us to do various types of works. Another example of exothermic reaction is the decomposition of vegetable matter. So when the vegetable matter, it decomposes into compost, it also gives heat. So this is also an exothermic reaction. So that was combination reaction, and the other one is decomposition reaction. Decomposition, by the word you will understand that something is decomposing here, means it is breaking down. So activity 1.5 is given in your textbook, in which 2 grams of ferrous sulfate crystals is taken in a dry boiling tube. So in a boiling tube you will take 2 grams of ferrous sulfate crystal, and the color of this ferrous sulfate is green. It is green crystals. So when ferrous sulfate is heated, what happens? It turns into ferric oxide. Ferrous sulfate loses water of crystallization, and the original green crystals are converted into reddish brown anhydrous solid. So ferrous sulfate, when it is heated, which is green in color, when it is heated, it turns into ferric oxide, which is reddish brown in color. So here is the chemical equation of that. ferrous sulfate FeSO4, when it is heated, it breaks down into ferric oxide, it breaks down into ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur trioxide. So here we can see a single reactance. When it is heated, it breaks down into 3 products. One is ferric oxide, one is sulfur dioxide, and the third one is sulfur trioxide. So this is a decomposition reaction, and the definition of decomposition reaction can be written as the reaction in which a single reactant breaks down into 2 or more simpler products. Now the ferrous sulfate, in the earlier slide, we saw that ferrous sulfate first loses its water of crystallization. So what is this new word for water of crystallization? Actually, the chemical formula of ferrous sulfate crystal, the green crystals, is actually ferrous sulfate FeSO4.7H2O. And this 7H2O, it is known as the water of crystallization. Or in the simple words, you can say it is water that is found inside a crystals. So when a crystal is formed, it traps some of the water inside it, and it traps the water which is in a fixed proportion. So water of crystallization you can define as the number of water molecules that combine chemically in definite proportion with the concerned salt in the crystalline state. So the concerned salt, when it is in a crystalline state, some of the salt, they trap water inside their crystals, and that water is known as water of crystallization, and that water is of definite proportion. So the crystal salts containing water of crystallization are called hydrates. So these crystal salts, here FeSO4, this is known as hydrate, and water is crystallization. Some other names are also there, like water of hydration or crystallization water. So it is interesting to know some of the examples of water of crystallization. Blue vitriol. Here you can see the diagram of blue vitriol. This is copper sulfate pentahydrate. Why penta? Here 5H2O is written here. It means penta. So copper sulfate pentahydrate. Some other common examples are green vitriol, that is iron sulfate heptahydrate. Red vitriol is cobalt sulfate heptahydrate. White vitriol is zinc sulfate heptahydrate. Vitriol is simply sulfuric acid. So what is this vitriol term? This vitriol terms, it usually refers to the sulfate containing compounds. Another example of water of crystallization is washing soda Na2CO3.10H2O. So this dot H2O, XH2O, that is 7H2O, 5H2O, 10H2O, this is known as water of crystallization. Now this decomposition reaction, in which a single reactant, it breaks down into 2 or more simpler products, it is of 3 types. Number 1 is thermal decomposition, number 2 is electrolytic decomposition, and number 3 is photochemical decomposition. And by the words you can identify that thermal decomposition means in the presence of heat, electrolytic decomposition, that involves electricity, and photochemical means it comes from the word photon, and photon means light, that is, it occurs in the presence of sunlight. So number 1 is thermal decomposition, the reaction in which a single reactant breaks down into 2 or more simpler products on heating. Electrolytic decomposition, the reaction in which a single reactant breaks down into 2 or more simpler products on applying electric current. And photochemical decomposition, the reaction in which a single reactant breaks down into 2 or more simpler products in the presence of sunlight. Now we'll see one by one. Number 1 is a thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition, the reaction in which a single reactant breaks down into 2 or more simpler products on heating. So one example is there, limestone, that is calcium carbonate, which you studied earlier in activity. Here when it is heated, it breaks down into calcium oxide, that is quicklime, and CO2. So it occurs in the presence of heat. Decomposition occurs in the presence of heat. Therefore, this is the example of thermal decomposition. And this calcium oxide, it is also known as quicklime, and it is used in manufacture of cement. So one activity is given in your textbook. Take 2 grams of lead nitrate powder in a boiling test tube And when you heat lead nitrate, what happens? See, lead nitrate is white in color. The crystals are white in color. So when you heat lead nitrate, what happens? You can see brown fumes coming out from the test tube. You can see brown fumes. So when you heat lead nitrate, emission of brown fume occurs. So this is the chemical reaction. PbNO3 whole 2, in the presence of heat, it breaks down into lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So this brown fumes which you can see is the presence of nitrogen dioxide. So this is a very important chemical reaction in which brown fumes are seen. So whenever you see a brown fumes in a chemical reaction, you should always remember that this is occurring due to the presence of nitrogen dioxide. So this is a very important chemical reaction in which lead nitrate is broken down in the presence of heat. It decomposes into lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide that has brown fumes, and it gives oxygen. Another one, the second one, is electrolytic decomposition. This activity is given in your textbook, in which a plastic mug is taken, it is filled with water, 2 electrodes are put, and then electricity is applied. So after the application of electricity, what happens? Here some questions are asked. Is the volume of the gas collected the same in both the tests? Test these gases one by one by bringing a burning candle close to the mouth of the test tube. What happens in each case? Which gas is present in each test tube? So when electricity is passed through this, formation of bubbles takes place, and this, after some time, these bubbles, they displaces some water in the electrodes. So we will see here the answer of the questions. So following reaction takes place as this is filled with water, and when electricity is passed through it, water breaks into hydrogen and oxygen. So electrolysis, in the presence of electricity, water is breaking, one single reactant is breaking down into 2 products in the presence of electricity or electrolysis. So this is electrolytic decomposition. So the questions are, is the volume of the gas collected the same in both the test tubes? So we can clearly see that the volume of gases are different, and here it is already mentioned that in the first electrode oxygen is present and the second electrode hydrogen is present. So no, hydrogen has both the test tube, they don't have the same volume of gas. In one test tube, hydrogen has, here hydrogen in the second electrode test tube we can see that hydrogen has twice the volume of the other gas, that is oxygen, because it has displaced more water. This gap is filled with hydrogen. So hydrogen is more than oxygen. The second question is, test these gases one by one by bringing a burning candle close to the mouth of the test tube. What happens in each case? Which gas is present in each test tube? So the answer is, one of the gas catches fire and burns with pop sound, thus it is hydrogen. So when we bring a burning candle or a burning matchstick in near this electrode, near this test tube, what happens? It burns and it produces a pop sound. So in the last lecture, we have seen in one activity that when hydrogen is burned, it produces pop sound. So whenever we burn a gas and it produces a pop sound, it means it is hydrogen. And the another one is, the matchstick burns brightly. The candle or the matchstick which you bring closer to it, it starts to burn brightly, and thus it is oxygen. So the conclusion of this activity is, water on electrolysis decomposes to hydrogen and oxygen gas. Hydrogen gas burns explosively, whereas oxygen gas helps in burning, that is, hydrogen is highly combustible and oxygen is a supporter in the combustion. The next one is photochemical decomposition, that is decomposition which takes place in the presence of sunlight. In this activity given in a textbook, we have to take a china dish and place silver chloride in this. So silver chloride is white in color, white powder. So when white powder of silver chloride, it is placed in a china dish and it is kept in sunlight. After some time, what do you observe? So after some time, silver chloride turns gray in sunlight to form silver metal. So this silver chloride, which is white in color earlier, now it turns to gray, and that is silver metal. So this is the chemical reaction, silver chloride, that is AgCl, in the presence of sunlight, it forms Ag, means silver, and releases chlorine gas. So this is the photochemical decomposition. Some other examples of photochemical decomposition, AgBr, that is silver bromide. In the presence of sunlight, it forms Ag, that is silver, and releases bromine gas. And this is widely used in black and white photography, this reaction. So decomposition reaction, it requires energy either in the form of heat, light, or electricity for breaking down the reactants. So those reactions in which heat is absorbed is known as endothermic reaction. So we have studied earlier in combination reaction that, in combination reaction we have studied that when two reactants combine and forms a product and it releases energy, that was releasing of energy was exothermic reaction, and this endothermic reaction, it involves absorption of energy. So endothermic reaction, the definition you can write as reactions in which heat is absorbed by the reactants. Example is PbNO3, lead nitrate, it forms lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. And exothermic reaction, the definition is reactions in which heat is released along with the formation of products. The example is respiration. So the summary of this lecture is, we have studied here combination reaction, decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction is of 3 types, and again another 2 types of reaction, exothermic and endothermic reaction. Combination reaction, when 2 or more substances combine to form a single product, and decomposition reaction is reaction in which a single reactant, it breaks down into 2 or more simpler products. So combination reaction is just the opposite of the decomposition reaction. Now this decomposition reaction, it is of 3 types, that is thermal decomposition, which takes place in the presence of heat; electrolytic decomposition, it takes place in the presence of electricity; and photochemical decomposition, it takes place in the presence of sunlight. And another 2 types of reaction, exo means releasing, exo the word. So here by the simple word exothermic, exo means to release, and thermic means it is involved with heat or energy. So the reaction in which heat is released is exothermic reaction. Endo means to take inside, and thermic means heat, thermal. So reaction in which heat is absorbed. So exothermic and endothermic reactions. So thank you.